Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into a pretty fascinating financial reality today. Building wealth, or on the flip side, going broke, almost never comes down to these massive life-altering events. It's actually much quieter than that. It's the small, everyday habits that secretly drain our bank accounts over time. So in this Explainer, we're going to take a close look at 7 hidden money mistakes that keep people financially stuck and exactly how you can fix them.
Picture this. It's the end of the month, right? You open your banking app and wow, that number staring back at you is surprisingly low. And the crazy part is, you can't even explain where the money went. It's not like you bought a new car or took some luxury vacation. No yachts, no private jets, just some food here, a few subscriptions there, maybe a couple of impulse purchases online. It's that classic end-of-the-month panic where your paycheck seemingly vanishes into thin air.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to break this down into 4 actionable themes. First, the leaks. Second, the wealth destroyers. Third, the power of time. And finally, building your system. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with part 1, the leaks. This is all about how those tiny, seemingly harmless expenses really add up.
And that brings us to mistake number 1, honestly, just not knowing where your money goes. Most of us think we have a pretty good mental tally of our spending, right? Well, research straight from the Federal Reserve reveals something completely different. It turns out many households actually underestimate their discretionary spending, meaning the fun stuff you choose to buy by hundreds of dollars every single month. Why? Because a $12 lunch or an $8 coffee just doesn't feel important in the moment.
Let's put this in perspective. Imagine you're spending just $15 a day on random little things. Maybe it's that morning coffee, a streaming subscription you forgot about, or just grabbing quick takeout. On their own, these purchases seem totally harmless.
But man, $15 a day stacks up incredibly fast. That tiny daily amount quietly snowballs into about $450 a month. And that equals a massive $5,400 a year. Suddenly, that tiny leak doesn't look so small anymore, does it?
Now, here is the absolute kicker, the real cost of those leaks over time. If you took that same $5,400 and invested it annually at an 8% return, in 20 years, it could grow to over $250,000. Think about that. Financial problems usually don't start with a lack of income, they start because we just aren't aware of this underlying math.
Which leads us right into mistake number 2, lifestyle inflation. Human psychology is just fascinating here. As the Bureau of Labor Statistics points out, consumer spending tends to rise almost proportionally with income growth. Translation? When we make more, we automatically spend more. You get a raise, and suddenly you upgrade your apartment, buy a nicer car, or eat out way more often. Your financial situation looks identical to before, just with bigger numbers on both sides of the ledger. You earn more, but you never actually feel richer.
So, how do we fix this? It really comes down to awareness and a bit of intentional action. First things first, just track your spending for 7 days. Not forever, just 1 week so you can spot those hidden patterns. And second, the next time you get a raise, commit to directing 50% of that new money straight into savings before you even think about upgrading your lifestyle.
All right, moving on to section 2, the wealth destroyers. We're talking about emergencies and toxic debt. Because let's face it, life absolutely loves throwing curveballs. The car breaks down, a random medical bill pops up out of nowhere, but a crazy report from Bankrate shows that a huge chunk of Americans would actually struggle to cover even a $1,000 emergency expense straight from their savings. This is mistake number 5, lacking an emergency fund. Without that cash buffer, life's unpredictable surprises, they inevitably get pushed right onto credit cards.
And that introduces a seriously dangerous concept, something called reverse investing. This perfectly explains mistake number 3, relying on credit cards for normal, everyday expenses. Now, credit cards aren't inherently evil, but the average US interest rate is now sitting at over 20%. When you carry a balance, the magic of compounding completely stops working for you and starts aggressively working against you. That is reverse investing.
Just think about this comparison for a second. When you invest, an 8% return slowly and steadily builds your wealth over time. But on the flip side, if you're relying on credit cards and carrying a balance, that 20% interest rate is destroying your wealth incredibly fast. You could literally spend years and thousands of dollars just trying to pay off a $5,000 balance if you're only making the minimum payments. The immediate fix here? Stop using credit for purchases you can't pay off in full by the end of the month.
Okay, let's transition to section 3, the power of time. Truly your greatest asset.
Here we're tackling mistake number 6,
The trap of thinking small savings just don't matter. I know we've all heard people say, well, saving $50 a month isn't going to change my life, so why even bother? Well, let's actually look at the math behind saving just $50 a month. $50 a month is only $600 a year, but if you invest that at an 8% return over 30 years, that quote-unquote insignificant $50 transforms into roughly $70,000. It absolutely proves that wealth is rarely built through these massive one-time windfalls. No, it's built entirely on small, consistent behaviors multiplied by time.
And this brings us right to mistake number 4, waiting too long to start. Let's compare two investors. Person A starts investing $200 a month at age 25. Person B invests the exact same monthly amount but decides to wait until age 35. By the time they both hit 65, assuming that same 8% return, Person A has around $700,000. Person B, only about $300,000. Waiting just 10 years literally cost Person B $400,000. Why? Simply because they lost a decade of compounding time. Investing always rewards time far more than effort.
Finally, we arrive at section 4, building your system. It's time to automate those habits.
Mistake number 7 might actually be the most critical one of all: not having a simple financial system in place. Imagine trying to get fit without any sort of routine or meal plan. It'd be almost impossible, right? Well, money works the exact same way. Without a system, your spending becomes completely emotional, your saving gets inconsistent, and you end up relying way too much on pure willpower. And let's be real, eventually, willpower always fails.
So the ultimate fix here is automation. Step 1, use a clear framework like the 50-30-20 rule, where you dedicate your income to needs, wants, and savings. It just gives your budget some actual structure. Step 2, set up automatic investing. And Step 3, make sure your savings are transferred the very moment you get paid. Automation is like a superpower because it totally removes the need to constantly make the right choice. Just let your system move your money automatically, so your saving happens before you even have the chance to spend it. If you take anything away from today's explainer, please let it be this incredibly reassuring fact. Studies consistently show that a massive percentage of millionaires built their wealth through consistent financial habits, not massive incomes. Your financial future isn't shaped by needing to earn an impossibly huge salary or making one lucky, brilliant decision. It is shaped by the hundreds of small, automated choices you make every single month. All right, let's wrap this all up. Now, you might be sitting there realizing you're making several of these mistakes right now, and that's okay. Trying to fix everything at once almost always fails. You don't need some complete life overhaul today. What you need is momentum. Just fix one single mistake this week. Track your spending for 7 days, or start putting away a little toward a $1,000 emergency fund. Or maybe set up just one automated savings transfer, or throw some extra cash at a high-interest credit card balance. Small improvements create momentum, and momentum, that creates lasting change. So, I'm gonna leave you with a question to really reflect on. Which of these 7 hidden money mistakes affects you the most right now? Identify your biggest money leak, make the choice to fix just that one thing this week, and take back control of your paycheck. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy learning!